Good morning, it's day 4 here on my Iceland road trip. I've come up to Dyrholaey lighthouse. I'll put the name up because I'm going to get that wrong. And also you can take some pictures of the stack or the arch from here. I'm probably going to have a look at fixing the drone as well. It broke on the way over. I've got the parts, went to the DJI store for it 2 days ago. It's just been too wet really to use it for the last few days. I've got to put a new antenna on it, which is somewhere. Can't find it at the moment. There we go. This antenna's got to go on. I managed to break this. I've got to actually strip the drone down in bits to replace it. So I had to go shopping the other day and buy this quality toolkit and a few Torx bits as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next hour or so while the phone's charged and it's a bit flat. It's actually really sunny. It does get sunny in Iceland, believe it or not. And today's actually quite a nice day. So yeah, hopefully it stays like it and we'll get a nice sunset, which will kind of set me up for maybe some of the beaches, maybe Diamond Beach or something this afternoon. But we'll have to see how it goes. There's quite a few locations I want to look at in between, including a glacier, which there's no way on this planet I'll be able to pronounce, and probably the sea stacks as well, which I can't remember what they're called and I probably can't pronounce it either. But they're literally just around the corner, so by Vic, so I'll go there. I've got to stop off and use some of the facilities in Vic as well, so I've got quite a relaxing day really. I've got to drive about 2 hours to the Diamond Beach a bit later, but I've got all day to do it really. So yeah, I'll get on, try and fix the drone, try and get it in the air, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. If I get any drone footage, I'll put it up afterwards if I can get it working. If not, I'll catch up with you when I've set up at somewhere to get some shots of the arch and things like that. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. I couldn't do any vlogging up at the arch there. It was so windy. Quite nice skies, just kind of couldn't really, you wouldn't be able to hear me talking or anything like that, and it would have been a nightmare to hold on to the tripod, stop it blowing over and stuff. The arch isn't that photogenic from that location, and they've stopped you walking up to the edge of the cliff, and to be honest, I probably wouldn't want to anyway because it's so windy. There's a good chance you get blown off. But there's a lot nicer things from there up there actually. You can look down the black sand beach towards the plane wreck. You can't see the plane wreck. Probably could if you had a really long lens, but you can get a nice contrasty picture between the blue water and the break-in water and the black sand beach. So that come out quite nice. I've come back to Skogafoss simply because it's 10 minutes up the road and the sun's out and it is moving around this way, and apparently if you get light hitting this waterfall, you do get a rainbow on it. So a lot of the time it's a double one as well. So I'm going to head down there. Hopefully with a bit of luck might get a bit of a rainbow. There's a bit of colour in the mist actually, so it looks like it's doing something. But yeah, get down there, hopefully get some shots. I'm really happy with the ones here from yesterday. I don't really need to improve them. I just want to try and get one with that kind of rainbow in there, just to add to it. So I'll catch up with you down the bottom in a minute. Right, sorry about the wind noise. I've got up to the canyon. I can't pronounce it. I'll write the name up. I'm not even going to attempt it. I've already had the drone up over here. The only thing is I flew the drone from where I parked the car, so I didn't really get enough battery to kind of get any decent images with the drone really. Really cool place. It's like Cheddar Gorge to the extreme. Got this massive valley here, this massive viewing point. It's actually really scary. It's a massive drop. Got this waterfall here. It's gone quite overcast now as well. I think it's going to rain any minute, so I'm not going to be here too long, and I've got to get on to the other locations really I want to try and get to today. There's only really one shot to be had here from the viewing platform, and I'm not going to start walking around because I don't want to damage any of the cliffs or anything around it. I'm just going to stick to this point. I've had a look at two other views on the way which you can get to, but they're not as good as this one. So I'm just literally going to do a simple shot down here. The light's pretty bad at the moment. It's a bit too late for it really. If I got here 2-3 hours earlier and the sun was coming down here, it probably would have been a bit better. I'm just going to go simple shot, pano shot down the valley, just getting a bit of these rocks here, looking on. The floor's grated as well, so you can't move your tripod too many places because it'll just fall through. You've got to kind of go to certain positions. That's kind of the image on the back of the camera I'm going for. Just kind of looking down the valley. All I'm doing is one filter, a soft grad 0.9, just to bring down that sky a bit. It's going to need some post work as well. It's going to need a bit of colour and contrast adding because it's quite dark in there. Not doing any long exposures. There's a bit of movement in the clouds, so I probably could do a long exposure, but I don't really think it's going to add to it. It's going to take your eye away from the canyon and start looking into the sky, and the main interest is in the canyon. So simple shot with that one filter. It's only doing 1 second exposure. That's at an ISO of 50. An aperture of f14 just to make sure the whole valley's sharp. So it's going to be a very simple image, but with a bit of editing, a bit of post work, it should come out quite nicely. So I'll hit this one up, put it up, and I'll see you at the next location. Right, I'm at Diamond Beach. Epic. Very cold though, and also you've got to get quite close to the water, and yeah, my feet are wet already and the boots have gone on pretty good. I've got my camera bag all the way up here because I still put it in about 5-6 meters from where I am, and this big wave coming, it just managed to get out of the way in time. Luckily I didn't have the camera on the tripod at the time. All I'm doing is I've got a shot set up here with this tiny iceberg. It's about the size of, probably like a bit bigger than a rugby ball if you were to kind of make it to weird dimensions. But it's working really nicely in the scene. All I've got on is I've got a polarizer on. I want to get as most of that sky as I can. Sunset, or sun at the moment, is behind me. Probably a bit off to it, about 90 degrees kind of behind me from it, which means the polarizer is going to work really well for the sky. Also, by having a polarizer, I'm cutting out the reflection on the, I'm going to call it an iceberg, but it's not really, on the iceberg, because it's going to take a bit of the glare off it as well, and it's going to give us a bit of a better picture, a bit more transparency, being able to see through it. It's quite a cool thing. Obviously you don't get this in many beaches in the world. I thought there'd be more of them, to be honest. It's a bit kind of find a tiny one and do what you can with it. The lagoon is behind me over there and they're huge in there, but this is definitely going to be the nice place for sunset. You've got the black sand, the waves, the lovely skies behind us, and a bit of the kind of iceberg for foreground interest. It's working really, really nicely, this shot. I'm shooting a panoramic style shot, just because it's the only way I can get it in, really, with it looking kind of quite good, because it's quite a small thing. But I'll just put a picture up. I'll do it in a minute. I'll put a picture up of kind of the scene that I'm shooting on the back of the camera. My settings, so I've got the polarizer on there just to take the glare out. I've got a 0.9 soft grad on. I could probably get away with a hard grad, but I want some of that soft grad to come and work on the sea as well. The sea has got quite a lot of reflection and it's quite bright, and because the sand is so black, I want to control that. I don't want it to have so much glare off it, so the polarizer is going to help with that. But on top of that, I'm going to use a bit of the soft grad to darken some of the sea as well. It wouldn't work so well with the hard grad because you'll be able to see the lines across the sea and stuff. I've got the 16-35mm lens. I'm shooting as wide as I can at 16mm. And my settings for that are shooting an aperture of f13, ISO of 100, which has given me 0.8 seconds now. So I want to be shooting somewhere between 0.3 and 1 second is the kind of magic number for getting the water receding. I want enough texture in the scene so you know what's going on with it, but just enough long exposure to add a bit of difference to it than a normal shot. Yeah, so it's about probably 45 minutes before sunset. As long as I can survive the cold long enough, I'll probably just go down the beach, try and find some different ones to shoot. There's quite a mixture, really. There's the clear ones that look, which have been polished, and there's frosty ones that look a bit like frosted glass, which I'm not a massive fan of, but I'll try and take a picture of one of those anyway, just so you can compare it. And yeah, I'll catch up with you in a bit later, hopefully with the light firing off, hopefully get an amazing image. Right, I'm going to call that quits down at the beach now. Hang on. Sorry. Had a bit of a nightmare. I put the tripod higher to try and do some shots looking down with the water passing it, which didn't really work anyway. And the camera blew over and went right in the sea. And mainly the worst bit is right in the sand. Luckily, only the lens went in about the first, say, 3 inches of the lens, so the camera body stayed out. It is sealed on the body join, the lens, but it's not weather sealed on the end unless you have a filter on it. Luckily, I had the polarizer on it, so it probably stopped any water getting in the lens. But it's so damp on that beach now because it's sun's gone down, there's nothing really to dry it out. I can't for the love of me get my filters to stop clouding up. So there's really nice light over this side now, although it is kind of stuck behind these clouds. It'll re-expose. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get much use out of it. It's a difficult location, really. I think probably for every good shot you get there's probably 100 okay ones. We had the right light tonight, although I think in an ideal world you get strong sun shine coming down on them to light them up golden colour or pinkish colour more than the actual sky just going colourful. But it's actually quite hard trying to get decent composition or find something that lines up properly, and then when the water comes over them, they're so light that they start moving, so you can't, it's really hard getting shots with the water going past them. Also, there's a lot of white froth in the water, so it kind of ruins it because the iceberg's clear. You suddenly get all this white froth over it. It kind of takes over the show and kind of blocks all the kind of blocks the iceberg really, so you can't see it. Yeah, I'm going to head up here now, see what I can get quickly. I'm going to be in this location tonight anyway, so I will be getting up for sunrise if the light's good, and I'll probably be at the lagoon then anyway. So, but why there's a bit of colour in those clouds, just want to see if I can get set up. So if there's anything decent here, I'll put it up. I'm not going to vlog there just because I'm so cold now. If not, I'll see you tomorrow, maybe at that location. I'll probably get some shots even if the light's bad, just because it's quite a cool place. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed today's vlog, and I'll catch up with you in a minute before my arm dies.